Hello YouTubies, this is Joker Scribe and thanks for watching one of my awesome YouTube videos. And now we're talking. Now we are talking. A few of you trolls on my last video said I had some very mean things to say about Mark Gatiss, about the other directors and producers of Doctor Who. We're talking about Stephen Moffat and of course Russell T Davies. Now, on a whole, I do have some mean things to say now and again. That's only because I actually care deep down in my heart about Doctor Who. If I didn't, I wouldn't make any videos about it. I wouldn't speak my mind when I think things are going wrong. So, in light of this, I said something about the next episode too, saying that it might not actually meet all the needs of the Doctor Who community. That many people might be disappointed with that episode too. That it might not work for everyone. In fact, it might not work for the majority of the fans, simply because Stephen Moffat and his team might be going down the wrong path. But no despair. Neil Gaiman is writing the next episode of Doctor Who, and that can't be bad. Now, on the most part, I've got nothing bad to say about Neil Gaiman. His writing for Doctor Who has been fantastic. Have a look on his Twitter page. You will see he has millions of followers. Compare that to somebody like Stephen Moffat. He had something like 100,000 odd followers on YouTube. There's a big difference. And the reason is that Neil Gaiman is a fantastic writer. And people might say, well, Neil Gaiman has done other shows too. That's why he's got all those followers. Well, so has Stephen Moffat, and he's wrote for Tintin and another brilliant TV show, which was Sherlock Holmes. So the big gap in the amount of Twitter followers might be down to the fact that people like Neil Gaiman quite a lot in comparison to Stephen Moffat. So I have all the faith that this episode will be written well. However, I have some doubts. It's a Cybermen episode. Please, no. My main problem with Cybermen episodes is that they don't really impress me at all. People have liked them based on their past experiences of Doctor Who when they've seen it in the old episodes, and even then I thought they were totally disgraceful, really. I've never really been that impressed with Cybermen. They've been interesting in the second, was it the second or third season of Doctor Who? But after that, it just seems like a steady decline. However, in the Pandora Opens episode, it was kind of a nice scene that they had with the Cybermen. But after that, I don't think they really are too relevant with Doctor Who, especially when you're approaching a finale of a series. And, you know, to put it bluntly, guys, people who disagree with me on this, look at it this way. This is the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. This is the 50th year. And the second episode towards the finale is a Cybermen episode. Now, there might be something in there, in that it leads somewhere. Like, for instance, the Cybermen have data banks of the Doctor, so they know who the Doctor is. And when Clara wiped out the memory of the Daleks, it might have not influenced the Cybermen's technology, really, because they're different. And they know a lot about the Doctor. So, in that case, it might be relevant there. But there's so many unanswered questions. You know, you've got to answer who blew up the TARDIS, you've got to answer who the Cylons really are, what their plan is, his name, the reason behind his name is so bad, and also who the big enemy is, the Great Intelligence, all in a 45-minute or 50-minute episode, unless they go into the film as well. And if they do that, I will also feel a little bit cheated that nothing really was resolved in this series, and I have a feeling that it won't be either. I have a feeling that this series will end on a sort of dead end going into the 50th anniversary film. Of course, that's what Stephen Moffat and his team are planning. And in some ways, there's nothing wrong with that. But considering that we're in the 50th anniversary year, they have to come up with something at least a bit decent for the last episode or last two episodes. It really has to be a two-parter to even work. And you're telling me that the second to last episode is a Cybermen episode, and that's supposed to be brilliant. It might not actually mean anything. It might just be they are part of the episode, and there's something bigger behind it. I hope that is the real case. Many people being going, "Ooh, Cybermen episode, this is brilliant. Oh yeah," but I don't get it. I really don't, because Cybermen are just not that impressive. We want to see something bigger. Now, I have all the faith in Neil Gaiman. Now, don't forget that Neil Gaiman wasn't responsible for everything that happens in an episode. For instance, The Doctor's Wife, as far as I'm concerned, is the best episode since the revival of Doctor Who. The third best episode since Doctor Who was aired. That's in my opinion. Other people might disagree. I just think it was a brilliant episode. And he was responsible for the writing of that episode. Just genius. The whole thing, even the shooting of the film was brilliant. The sets was brilliant. And the only thing that let it down was the fact that we didn't see more rooms of the TARDIS. And if it did that, it would have been the best episode of Doctor Who of all time. But unfortunately, it didn't go that far. Now, Neil Gaiman is writing the episode that's coming up next, and that's a good thing because I prefer him to Mark Gatiss. I really do prefer him to Mark Gatiss. People seem to celebrate Mark Gatiss as if he's, a god or something, and I don't really see it. So I think Neil Gaiman has done a better job on a lot of episodes in comparison. So considering he's wrote it, that could be good, but who's directing it? Who's shooting this film? And who's producing it? They don't all do the same job. Neil Gaiman's not just going to go into the set and show the actors how to act, direct the film, then produce it. No, they have different people working there. So that matters too. But I'm pleased that he is the one who's wrote it, because that gives me a sigh of relief, because Mark Gatiss seems to be a little bit commercialized, too commercialized, where Neil Gaiman seems to be more of an artist. And I like that. I like that for Doctor Who. I like that for you people out there who are Whovians. So what can we expect? Because it's Neil Gaiman who's wrote the next episode, I have a feeling that this will blend in to the finale of this series, which is a good thing because I have all the faith in Neil Gaiman's writing. I hope he hasn't been told to write it as a single episode, as just featuring the Cybermen. I hope he's done the fans a big favour, and I believe that he is probably one of the best people for the job to write the finale of this series, although Stephen Moffat wants to write the last one, of course. But he's also chose Neil Gaiman to write the one before then, and that shows you how good a writer is, because he knows that that episode is critical for the finale of the season. Use the best writer, of course. Use the person who understands how to write proper fiction. And it shows when Neil Gaiman writes something, he does do it properly. He does do a damn fine job. So I expect that the Cybermen is only a fraction of this story. It's sort of a red herring. It's misleading, and there's something else behind it. I don't think they're the big bad. I think they're just there because they know the Doctor's real identity. They might not know his name, but they know the Doctor's identity, and it's the last Cyberman. Let's say, for instance, it is the last Cyberman. It means he has databanks of the Doctor, and that means something. And I think that's where Neil Gaiman's coming from. And I think that's probably why he is the best person to write this episode, because he understands what fans want, and he understands how to give it to them. And even if he understands what they don't know they want, he will do it properly. I have faith in Neil Gaiman. I had some trolls going, "You've got something against Neil Gaiman." No. You haven't watched my videos properly. I have nothing good. Well, nothing good. I have nothing bad to say about Neil Gaiman, because he is a fantastic person for the job. He is the one person I think should take over Stephen Moffat as head writer, because he will make all the difference. Not Mark Gatiss or somebody like that. Neil Gaiman. Choose Neil Gaiman because he is the best guy for the job. He has all the years' experiences, and he is also very consistent with writing good episodes of TV shows, etc. He's very consistent at doing it. This is where he exceeds a lot of the other writers of Doctor Who. So I have big, big faith in this guy, and hopefully the next episode will be your cup of tea too in Doctor Who. So as for spoilers, I don't believe that the Cyberman is playing a big part. It's only because he has data banks of the Doctor, and I think that's where it's leading. I think it's part of a sort of two-parter. They're doing it sneakily, of course. I think it's part of a two-parter. Okay. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye for now. Leave some comments down below if you're a 10-year-old troll. And some of the 10-year-old troll people on my channel are actually pretty cool half the time, but you get some of them coming in now and again from different places complaining about Stephen Moffat. He's complaining about Russell T Davies. You're complaining about Gated. I plays him Gated because he's brilliant.